Hey everyone, it's Andy. With this week's Tips for Work and Life, we're going to talk about how to answer the greatest weakness question. And can we all get a shout out for this question? How silly and ridiculous and ineffective is this question? This question is probably the absolute worst job interview question that an employer can ask you. The problem is employers keep asking it. I don't know why. It does nothing to tell them about whether or not you're going to be a good employee. I've got more than a decade's worth of statistical and predictive models that tell me your cultural fit, your achievements, your capabilities, your skill sets, your strengths. That's what matters. But they want to ask the question. So I can't control them. You can't control them, but I can help you figure out how best to answer it, and you can control your response. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what not to do. So let's start with the don'ts. First, don't ever, under any circumstance, actually give them a weakness. There's no reason for you to do that. You can control what comes out of your mouth. Do not tell them something you're actually bad at. That's the first thing. If they're going to ask you that silly question, you don't need to justify it with an actual weakness. So that's number one. Number two, and this might be contrary to what you've heard or read from other trainers or columnists or whatever, but under no circumstances should you give them an actual strength either. So it's insulting that they've asked you this question in the first place. Don't you compound the problem and be insulting back by telling them you're too detail-oriented, or you're too conscientious, or you work too much, or you work too hard, or you want to do everything yourself because you don't know how to delegate. None of that. They get it. It makes them eye roll. It does no good. You've both just wasted a whole bunch of time with this question and your response. So stay away from those. And number three, the don'ts is, I don't want you to use negative words as you're talking about this weakness. So don't use negatives. I'm bad at this. I'm not good at that. Don't use any of those in describing anything that's about to come out of your mouth. Now, what I would prefer that you do, and the best way to handle this question so that you're actually answering it and they view you as giving it the good old college try, is just talk about something that you've yet to have an opportunity to do. So something you just don't have any experience in, whatever it is that might be of interest to you. You might say something like, you know, one of my areas for improvement is I've yet to have an opportunity to perform this function, work in this industry, study these things, whatever it might be. So they're not going to penalize you for not having the experience, and you've offered up I hate this, a weakness. It really is just something you've yet to have an opportunity to do. They're not going to fault you for that. You just don't have the experience. But what you want to do, in addition to citing that example, is you always want to make sure that you're ending that portion of your response on what it is that you've done in order to gain that experience. So I haven't yet had the opportunity to do this, and that's one of my growth opportunities. What I've done so far to gain that experience is I've read these books, I've watched these videos, I've taken this training class, whatever it might be, to show them that you've got a great attitude in learning. So that's how I would answer it. Now, if you like this response, I have got a great ebook titled Ace Your Job Interview, Master the Best Responses to the 14 Most Effective Job Interview Questions. Anybody who signs up for my Tips for Work and Life blog gets that as a free download. It's got the 14 best questions that an employer can ask you, 43 variations of those questions, why the employer asks them, what the employer is looking for, and the very best responses. I also have an extremely popular webcast called 3 Keys to Ace Any Job Interview, and it focuses entirely on how to answer and ask questions in a job interview. So all of the download to the ebook and the sign up to the webcast is in the description. I hope you check that out, and until next week, have a great one.